point of Ruth.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Thursday edition. I'm not sure the last time I was this nervous for an interview setting situation edition. I'll explain momentarily. Hey, I don't know if you heard, but it's Aaron Rodgers week. And while Matt LaFleur doesn't think it's a big deal, he sure answered a lot of questions about his former quarterback yesterday. Edition. And
It's for you guys, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm not sure I believe him. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, and all-customizable Spotify fill-in. It's like the Lucas Havrasik of streaming our show, if that's the way you like to do it, the ESPN Wisconsin app. But you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios and back where he belongs in his undisclosed location.
What was that?
That was the darkness.
We got a lot of weird things going on back
darkness
here.
retreat.
Twilight Zone action.
Yeah, we're good. I think we got it. One step at a time here.
It is the Badgers legend wearing another one of his shirts that he didn't wear often enough, and he continues the rotation. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, a little crinkly collar on this.
I wasn't going to comment on that.
I know you weren't, but I knew. I could tell your judgmental little face and how judgy.
I just don't like collars that are stretched out on my own neck. I don't like those shirts when that happens. I don't like it.
I know, but you're very judgy. I could sense it. But I got my Jason Eck New Mexico Lobos hat on. Bows up. It used to be, again, how did we do that? It's like this. Bows up. Woof, woof. Which, again, I think he still needs to do a little bit of work with some of that. But he
He's
had
going to
his
be coaching
fun
the
little
Badgers
deal.
next year. Who cares?
So
Whoa, Nelly!
we got a big gambling thing going on in the NBA. We got there's all kinds of that there's gambling going on. That it's illegal.
I'm shocked that there's gambling occurring in this establishment.
Yeah, I don't even know where. Like that whole thing. It's like y'all knew stuff like this was going to happen. Well,
Indeed.
Allegedly.
Couldn't agree with you.
Of course.
Yeah,
Everything's
allegedly.
alleged.
Love that word.
I don't want to get into any of that. But, yeah, the Rodgers stuff, so on Wisconsin's Morning News, Eric is out this week. I'm not even sure. There's a little rotation thing going on.
He did the afternoon show when I was on.
Yeah, there's a little rotation. I think there's, everybody's being a good teammate and they're kind of working through. But I thought one of the things he asked me this morning was really interesting. He basically was poo-pooing that Rodgers isn't looking this as a revenge game. And I have to admit, as I said all week, and I know we have another day of this tomorrow, this game is going to be important to Rodgers. But I thought had it been right away with the Jets, there would have been more vitriol. Rodgers' quotes yesterday, I believed him. I don't think – what are you rolling your eyes, McRollerson? Like what – if I may, and then you could go. His 2 years with the New York Jets was humbling, and I think it does give him more appreciation for his 18 years in Green Bay, or whatever it was. 17, how many years?
No,
was he
18
here?
years, yeah. 18, 15
His
as a starter.
18 years here, I think, gave him a better sense of appreciation. Now, do I think him and Goody are going to get a coffee anytime soon? No. I don't think him and Goody like each other. Do I think he has love and affection for Matt LaFleur? Yep. Jordan Love? Yep. The Green Bay Packers as an organization and the people? Yep. Do I think he wants to beat them in a big way? Yep. But I don't think he has that big-time vitriol that I think we all want him to have from a storytelling perspective. Tell me why I'm crazy.
You're not, except for one
Why'd
person.
you roll your eyes then?
Because for
Why'd
one
you roll your
person, I'm sorry, I don't believe that is gone away, and that's
Which
for the
person?
general manager.
Yeah, I just said that.
Right, and that's
literally
why
just said
you
it.
asked me why I was rolling my eyes at the beginning. I'm answering the question.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why. That's the only reason why. I agree with you. I believe him. Like, does he think that he's still smarter than Matt LaFleur?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
No doubt. That's a good one to ask him. Start your Q&A with him today with that.
No, we'll get into that. I'm going to crowdsource a little bit. I don't promise that I'm going to use other people's work, but I am nervous to beat the band on this. Really nervous. And I don't get nervous really about my job, about anything. I get nervous about a lot of other things. But look, Goody doesn't like him. He doesn't like Goody. They will put on a friendly face if he's down on the field and he'll shake his hand. He won't kick him in the junk or anything like that. But they both can't stand each other. Like, let's not pretend that has changed. Now,
No, I don't think anybody thinks they love each other.
Yeah, but I beyond that, like, it's a different team, right? We established that there's 14 guys on the team that were there for the 2022 season, and a lot of them were rookies, and many of them played very limited roles, if at all. Like we were talking to Zach Tom yesterday, and Zach Tom started a bunch of games as a rookie. He said he didn't really have a whole lot of one-on-one time with Aaron. So it's not like there's a level of connectivity there that is the same as when Favre went to the Vikings. Rodgers pointed it out with the Pittsburgh media. Like, if he'd have gone to the Vikings, which you could argue looking at where their quarterback situation is.
No, I said they should have. And they should have done that. I don't know why they didn't, and I think they're going to rue the day when they finish fourth in this division. And, if Rodgers leads the Steelers to the division title, I do wonder, because I've heard the reports, or I've seen the reports, that the Pittsburgh Steelers want old boy back again next year.
Jeremy Fowler reported that
again.
yesterday. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went and finished his career in Minnesota yet. I don't think that narrative is dead. I don't.
Okay. Well, I can tell you this. If he goes to the Vikings,
It'll
then
be a whole
the
different
conversation will be different.
Yes. And do you want that? Because I know you do.
I don't know. I kind of like this. Oh, it's not a revenge game and all this other stuff. I will say, whether he will admit it or not, I posted this yesterday and I used it in my story. It's a reckoning for one guy for him, and he's never going to say it publicly. He's not going to say it in our Zoom call today. He didn't say it yesterday. He's not going to say it after the game. But whether it's, and again, we don't know. I was just talking about this with Alex Strofe.
Okay, I have something you need to ask. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Just say, you know what? I know, just like with Favre and Ted, there was some, tough blood with how this all played out. But Ted texted Brett after that Viking game.
That's a good question.
So you could just say, with some of the success you've had here, have you had any correspondence with Brian Gutekunst since this whole deal? You gotta. It's what people want to know, because that is the storyline. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it because it's not the feel-good, Aaron and Jordan have mentored each other. Aaron mentored Jordan, and Jordan's been great. And Jordan, did you ask Jordan if he appreciates that Aaron made his life easier yesterday? Or were you talking to Havlicek?
No, I was there. I was there for Jordan. I didn't ask it that way. I was more interested in the Packers.com guys chided me a bit for using the S word in my question.
What's the S word?
What?
Poop? Is it poop?
Yep.
Yes. Poopy.
Oh, because then they can't put it on Packers.com.
Well, they could just drop the audio. Like, it's not straight. And as I said,
when did you become Johnny Potty?
You could also not be a potty
When are you
mouth.
dropping that?
Yeah.
That's not how you roll.
Very family friendly.
When do you start dropping
There's kids
S-bombs?
watching that press conference, Jason.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Not live. It's not live streamed. LaFleur is live streamed. I don't swear in there usually.
Everything is live streamed.
It's not. It's not on live. It is played on their website, which they have time to edit out my S word.
Let's do it live.
So I asked him, did Aaron ever talk about how poopy Favre was to him his first year? And did he ever make it clear to you that he wanted to make sure that he was not, something to that effect, treating you the same way or whatever it was? And he was great. Like, his answer was great. And he acknowledged that they did talk about it, which was what I was looking for, because that was important to the narrative that I'm crafting for Sunday's story. I did not ask him if he appreciated the fact that the fan base was not divided. Now, I had done that story a couple of years ago.
That's a good
But wait a minute now, because I did that story a couple of years ago, and I can bring that back if I need to. But that was the time
not
when
everybody reads every day, though.
I understand. I could go back and get the quotes from that, because one of my favorite parts of that story was he didn't know the story of Family Night. When Favre came back, and so when I was telling him about how he flew in for the game, Jordan thought that Favre landed a helicopter on the field.
That would have been sweet.
That would have been amazing.
That's what I said. That would have been
the way
amazing.
we played that night, it would have been good because we stunk.
So I was like, no. But what I kind of wish, now I had not thought about that as a possibility, but how boss of a move would that have been for Favre to land in a helicopter?
I would think that'll be one of the next things in the Green Bay redevelopment plan is a chopper
helipad?
lander. Yeah, they need a helipad there at some point. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I've got the money for it, that's for sure. So anyway, I'm open to suggestions because I need to make sure my question is concise and worthwhile.
Yeah. The Goody Ted angle is perfect. And you know it.
Yeah, but here's the other problem. There are no follow-ups.
Who said?
Bert Lawton.
What do you mean there's no follow-ups? What is this?
What does Bert
COVID?
have to say over any of this?
Bert doesn't get to tell you don't get follow-ups.
Who does Bert think he is?
It's not how this works.
Well, first of all, Bert is one of my favorite people in the league. He's been the PR director for the Steelers for a very long time. Rodgers is doing no one-on-ones in person in Pittsburgh, so even if I'd have gone out there, I would have had the same 13-minute access that everyone else had yesterday. Today's Zoom call is 10 minutes, we're told. Which, if that sounds challenging, that's because it is. I don't know how that's going to work. So that is why I am a nervous Nelly about this. So I'm open to suggestions, but I am definitely apprehensive about this. So I've run into some glitches with the video. So let's take a break and let's have Tausch tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We'll see if we can get this fixed and resume our program.
No glitches when it comes to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it comes to your home, the smart play is to trust Gene Adela and the great team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. This month, you can score a whole house of new energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with zero interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to the incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping all of the drafts. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gene Adela from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Every great team starts with a strong defense, and the same's true in business. That's why companies trust Trend Micro for cybersecurity. From ransomware to phishing to the most advanced cyber threats, they help protect your network, your data, and your people. With over 35 years of expertise, Trend Micro has built a defensive playbook trusted by enterprises worldwide. Your business works too hard to get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right. That's trendmicro.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles, we'll lay to rest and we wish we could come back to these days, these days.
Aaron Rodgers week. I'm sorry, Packers Steelers week. Wait, I'm one of those guys, though, so I get to make it that, right? I don't understand what Matt LaFleur's rules are. Packers play the Steelers, who happen to have Aaron Rodgers on their team.
I can't follow up, so I don't know. It's no.
I can follow up
Thursday.
to my heart's desire with the Packers head coach. I actually got to go to a press conference on a Wednesday yesterday, thanks to them pushing it back. It was awesome.
Nice.
But
they know how important this week is for you.
That's why they did it. Exactly. They did it for me. And I appreciate Matt thinking of me that way. So here is, I assume, Jesse, you edited out the naughty word that I used, right?
Of course.
Okay, I just don't want to get us in trouble.
Well, I
don't want to have Packers.com and Good Karma Brands both mad at me.
I would appreciate if you would stop swearing so that I wouldn't then feel like I'm censoring information being shared publicly.
Well, I don't think you're censoring anything. I think you're just preventing FCC violations. Look at it that way. So I did ask Jordan Love, I asked him several questions yesterday, but one of them was about the treatment that he received from Rodgers and whether or not he knew that that was a function of how Rodgers was treated, which was not well. I know they became friends later, but not initially. Here is that exchange.
He taught you well with that. We're not going against each other directly. He used to use that all the time.
Did he?
Did he ever tell you how it was the first year with Favre? Did you guys ever talk about that? Because it doesn't seem like he ever treated you the way he got treated.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that, I've heard stories about, obviously his time coming into the league as a, same kind of situation, getting drafted here as a rookie with a quarterback that's already been here. So, I've heard a lot of stories, but, it's one of those things where, I wasn't in the room. Who knows how it was. But, you have heard Aaron talk about, he wanted, my relationship with him and my kind of experience in the quarterback room to be different from what he had. So, I think, I got a lot of respect for how he handled it, the way he went about me coming in. And like I said before, he welcomed me with open arms. He helped me out a ton in the quarterback room. I learned so much from watching him and then also just hearing him talk in the meeting room. So, like I said, he was nothing but great to me.
So if you listen to that closely, Tausch, you can hear him contemplate the lame answer, and he says, I was not in the room. And then he comes back and then acknowledges that Rodgers did tell him about that, and that so I was very pleased with that outcome. Okay. But my question for you is this, because you were on teams and you were there when Rodgers arrived. I do wonder, because as great as these guys are, we all have insecurities to varying degrees. I do wonder if Rodgers, watching Jordan initially, it was easier for him to be magnanimous because he didn't really feel all that threatened. Whereas I wondered if Favre maybe felt differently and that fueled some of that animosity. Do you remember the dynamic at all? Like, could you sense that there was that tension when you were on that team in 2005? And do you think that contributed to the best 4-12 season in NFL history being as bad results-wise as it was?
No, the tension and everything was between front office, coach, and just the decisions that were made. I think going younger, That was the case where I thought the only time the organization kind of let the players down was because you didn't really have a clear – it just wasn't clear. Mike Sherman was I love Mike Sherman. But when they took the GM stuff away –
should have just fired him altogether.
It just didn't work. It was never going to work, and you could tell there was a divide and there was tension.
Yep.
When Ted would come down, and it was two really good human beings, but you put them in a spot that I think if Bob Harlan had to do it again, I would bet he'd do it differently.
Yeah, and he's admitted that. Yep.
Yeah. So as far as the Rodgers and Favre tension, everybody is going to be – there's going to be some type of – I don't want to say animus, but just like Aaron went with 3 fingers of tequila after Jordan Love was drafted because, as I said that night of the draft, the clock started. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows it. Everybody's going to act like it's not, but it is. That's the reality. You draft a quarterback in the first round and you trade up. The clock starts, and acknowledge it rather than try to act like it's not. Now, when that would be, and I thought to Rodgers' credit, he was never talking about retirement. Brett was for years. And I think that gave Brett a little spur in his boot to kind of get him revved up a little bit, just like it did with Aaron Rodgers. But both guys knew that it was going to be the end. And they would have to go play somewhere. And I think Aaron said that this week. He was going to have to play somewhere else if he wanted to keep playing.
Yeah.
And for someone with that resume, that's a tough acknowledgement for guys. And then he goes out and wins 2 MVPs, and he's fended it off. And I think it was a big blank you when he signed a new contract. But eventually you knew something was going to give, and it did. But as far as, all of the stories, and I think we're overblowing this a little bit. It wasn't as if, Brett, the first year, was it the most warm relationship? No. But go ahead and look at that 07 year. I think Brett came around understanding what was happening. And I think you'd say both guys, 05 was a tough year because we stunk. It was, Brett, and sure, I think we took pictures with Brett down in Chicago thinking he was retiring. Mm-hmm. He didn't. So it wasn't, I think sometimes you and others blow that up even bigger than what it was. It was not World War III. Okay? It wasn't. Was it friendly, having picnics together? No. The first year was what you'd think it would be. Little chilly, little standoffish, but that was on both ends of it. So I think there's a little revisionist history in the fact that you act like it was World War III. It wasn't. It was what you would think would happen when a young bull comes in and is kicking the old sire out the pen saying, I'm here, baby. I'm here. And that's to be expected.
Fair. I think maybe you're maybe a little bit underplaying it. If I'm overemphasizing it, I think it might have been a little bit.
I just said it was chilly and it was not warm.
Chilly now.
But outside of the helmet signing thing, that was funny, and I think it was funny.
It was.
Was it a little mean-spirited? Certainly. But it was funny, and that stuff happens with young players. Just because you're a first-round quarterback, yes, not going to argue that relationship was frothy. But it wasn't as if he was – it wasn't to the degree that I think you were telling Jordan. I think you're embellishing a little bit, if I'm being honest. And I don't even know what you're telling him.
Well, you weren't able to hear the word, but the editing was great.
Sure.
What is also great is our partnership with Steinhoffels. They are celebrating 91 years of bringing style, comfort, and quality to your family's home. As a 100% employee-owned company, you'll always get honest service, never high-pressure sales. I know that for a fact. It took me 10 years to get my couch, but when we did, it was a great experience. And if you need better sleep...
That salesperson was excited. 10 years of showing you a couch.
Well, it wasn't the same.
That's like when you're going to buy a house and the realtor showed you the 600th house, and finally they're like, man, now we're good.
Kids were in 5th grade when he started. Graduated college.
They had to actually go with a bigger couch because the. Oh, Wilby's back.
Couch.
Oh, we got another 3-year ordeal on our hands. Well, he is a particular young fella.
Can I come back and discuss the fine details in 2028?
We love our new furniture.
We got a new gig with Channel 3000 coming up. I think we're going to probably finally be able to get this done.
Wrote for 4 different outlets in the span of buying this couch.
All right, we're done, Jason. Go ahead.
Need better co-hosts? No. Need better sleep? Try Steinhaffel's Discover Your Sleep System. Want to refresh your room? Their decorating solutions team makes it simple. From the latest furniture trends, which have changed during that decade it took for us to settle on a couch, to trusted quality, Steinhaffel's has everything you need. Celebrate 91 years. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call or text pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling or texting pound 250.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
It was a historic season for the Milwaukee Brewers this year. A franchise record 97 wins, a 15-game win streak, NL Central champions, and advancing to the National League Championship Series for the first time since 2018. Here's Brewers manager Pat Murphy on looking ahead to next season.
Right now, we just have to sit back and look at our health and make sure guys are getting healthy, guys that need off-season procedures and things to get done. Yeah, I mean, I love the guys. I love what they bring to the table. I love their possibilities going forward. But like every year, we'll look a little different for sure.
The crew will now have the offseason to gear up for the 2026 season.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
It pretty much hurt doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics' all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery. And then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers at his locker in Pittsburgh. Hear for yourself. Do you believe, like Tausch does, when he says this is not a revenge game? Here's how he phrased it with the Pittsburgh media.
You don't view this as a, quote, revenge opportunity or whatever narrative we want to try to throw out there?
I don't.
How dare you view this then?
Why not? Well, Brett got traded, and then he went to one of the hated rivals. You know, I was in New Jersey for a couple years. I don't have any animosity toward the organization. Obviously, I wish that, you know, things have been better in our last year there, but, you know, I have a great relationship with a lot of people still in that organization.
Toward the organization.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Why
but
are
I
you
don't believe him.
then?
Because I don't believe him when it comes to Goody. I just don't. And I don't think Goody's obviously not speaking this week. He's not interested in that. And I think I think he talked to Rob Domofsky for Rob's piece that he's doing for ESPN.com. But I'm guessing that if they discussed anything off the record, that he would have given Rob his real feelings. I don't think there's a lot of love lost. I think there's appreciation there for what Aaron Rodgers accomplished, and he's glad that he doesn't have to deal with him anymore. That's what I think.
Do you think Matt LaFleur's glad he doesn't have to deal with him anymore?
Yeah, and I can't say that I blame him. And look, the other part of this, and this is the question that I want to ask concisely to him, is he's not doing McAfee. I have not heard other than him talk. He's not.
Oh, I thought he was still doing McAfee.
He's not. From what I can tell, the only thing that he said that's been controversial was publicly criticizing the field at Acrisure Stadium. Is he taking a different approach this year than he did previously?
Nice. Good question. We won't have to follow that up.
Well, again, the Goody question is a really good one, but unless you can have a back and forth about that subject, like those folks did about the revenge game, the follow-up was why not? Kind of an important piece of that. So that's where my nervousness lies. He also talked about, like, he was good yesterday. He had some interesting things that he talked about with them. One of the other things he did say was that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Because the follow-up to the no revenge game was a question, I think, from Brooke Pryor of ESPN about whether or not his feelings about the organization have softened over time over the last 3 years, which I thought was a great follow-up. Here's how that went.
We're always working on ourselves and trying to be better than we were previous day, previous month, previous year. But absence makes the heart grow fonder, maybe. You know, I have a lot of great memories from my time there. A lot of great interactions with fans over the years, you know, living in Green Bay, living in Swamico, living in Hobart, going to chives, being out and about, seeing people at the Piggly Wiggly when I'm shopping for groceries. I grew up there. I spent 18 years there, from 21 to 39, so I'm thankful for my time there. Obviously, would have loved to ride off in the sunset after a Super Bowl win, but that's not the way the league goes sometimes.
Shout out to Piggly Wiggly, who was Aaron's grocery store of choice and presenting the video feed on Wilde and Tausch.
Shop the pig.
Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig. I am curious, Tausch. You have obviously gone through the retirement experience, and you were just back feeling the nostalgia of the Rose Bowl teams, right? I am curious if that happens. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and you start to think more thoughts about your feelings on how good things were, and you start to think about those more than you think about the bad.
Well, for me, obviously the Badgers, we finished incredibly strong, and I have great vibes on that. So that was never in play on my end. But, yeah, I think every player, whether they are politely told a deuces be, or if it is more acrimonious, like old boy, you're going to be irritated for a while. But the thing I continue to notice, whether you go up to a Packer game, an alumni, or you talk, or, you know, I have a couple different text strings going. People will still say, certain things, but everybody with the experience that you have, you end up going back to the good times. That's just how it goes. And I think with Rodgers, I said from the jump, once he retires, he will be welcomed back, and he will be probably do the same thing they did with Brett, where they give $12 a seat to go out on Lambeau, and that money goes to a charity of Aaron's choice, and he'll be regaled and retired. Number will be retired. He'll go into the Packer Hall of Fame. He'll go into the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be peaches and cream, baby. That is how this almost always works. Now, the one caveat would be if old boy finishes this season off strong and Kevin O'Connell calls him and says, man, we screwed up, bruh. I should have listened to you, bruh. We needed you, bruh. This team's stacked and we had no quarterback. We got to stash our starting quarterback on IR because we can't win with him, bruh. We need you. 1 year, just please come on in, help tutor JJ. Bring it home with Jay Jettis and the boys. And if he does that, then I can't say for certain that would be the case. I think we may be a year too late, and I think Aaron is probably now Pittsburgh or done. But, boy, be a sexy storyline.
It definitely would be. I guess I would ask, do you believe what you just said? Because I actually do believe you. That
which part?
All of it. The regrets.
100%.
That Kevin O'Connell and him are buddies.
Carson Wentz in. Nobody in America, not even Carson's parents, would say that Carson Wentz, who was an MVP candidate and unfortunately had that injury, and he just hasn't bounced back. He was broken at Lambeau. We watched the game. He was broke. They broke him that game.
Yeah.
When he came back.
Yeah.
And he should. If I'm Carson Wentz, you keep fighting and competing, but he ain't the guy. They know. Minnesota knows that. Minnesota screwed up. Rodgers wanted to go there. They screwed up.
Ugh.
And I think they know it now, and it's too late.
And you think that the other thing I'm wondering, do you think they know that McCarthy ain't the guy? Or do you think
they know he's not the guy this year, that he has a lot of things to work through, and they knew they were going to lose that locker room if he was going to continue to play. Even though they had that great comeback against the Bears, they know that Jay Jettis and the boys are he's and it's a lot to ask. I know he's in his second year, but he didn't play it all last year.
No, correct. Yep.
So,
well, I know this. You want to get real, you go to Jones Dairy Farm and experience what Tausch experienced there. That's real.
It is, and I just told you we had a great little pork sausage orchetta the other night with a little spinach. I told Sarah it was the best dish she's made. The kids agreed, and it's from Jones Dairy. Family-owned and operated for 7 generations in Fort Atkinson all the way back to 1889. A real Wisconsin legendary company and operation. They're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe. Clean ingredients, none of those fillers and the nitrates and the MSG. None of that stuff. It's all clean. Clean before it was cool to eat clean. Find Jones products in grocery stores across Wisconsin. Check the website's product finder at jonesdairyfarm.com.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack. It's mid-October. Basketball season is here. The football season's building profit. UFC going this weekend, soccer, and much more. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Go to fatjacksports.com. It's as little as $99 a week when you sign up long-term. Add all these sports. The plays are emailed to you. They're on a personal portal, and they will build you profit betting on the games. Fatjacksports.com. Go to the results tab. You'll see all of our results. Get signed up today at fatjacksports.com.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Middleton's Joey Passaglia. Passaglia is a senior on the Middleton football team and is the starting quarterback and captain for the Cardinals. In a 56-7 win over Madison La Follette, Passaglia had 4 total touchdowns, 3 passing and 1 rushing. Through 7 weeks of the season, Passaglia has over 1,700 total yards of offense with 17 total touchdowns and 129 completions. Off the football field, he's also a star in the baseball diamond for the Cardinals. Congrats to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Middleton High School's Joey Passaglia. This Thursday, October 23rd, the KBN crew is taking over the Bullpen Sports Bar and Grill in New Berlin, broadcasting live from 2 to 5 p.m. Come out for Taco Thursday, meet the crew, and stick around for great food, cold drinks, and non-stop sports action. You'll love their Friday fish fries, their crowd favorite pizza and wings, and all the game day specials all season long. Grab a seat inside or out on the patio and see why everyone's talking about the Bullpen, your local spot for food, friends, and Wisconsin sports. See you this Thursday at the Bullpen.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. Take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. Text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 for full details. To learn more about this amazing adventure, come to the meet and greet on Tuesday, November 4th at 6 p.m. at Buck and Honey's Monona. If you can't make it, visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com to learn
learn how you can join virtually.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Brand new. Don't close your eyes, 'cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
So I know we've talked quite a bit Aaron Rodgers. It is a different week because they're actually playing against him. I'm aware of some people's feelings previously about him when he was not facing the Packers that week. But the funniest thing yesterday was whether it was Jordan Love or some of the other guys, Zach Tom, the Broderick Jones thing. The idea that his rookie tackle thought it was a good idea to tackle a fragile 41-year-old quarterback in celebration. And the facial expression and harsh rebuke that young fellow receives is really funny to anybody who has played with or knows Aaron Rodgers, including you and Bakhtiari. Like, it was, in the words of the great American orator Brad Childress, now that's funny now. That was funny now. Here is, speaking of things I don't entirely believe, here is Aaron Rodgers explaining that scenario.
The only tackle I had the other night was Broderick, so other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
What went through your mind when he tackled you in that celebratory moment?
Rod is always the first one to come find me after a play. It could be like the first big pass down to DK on third down. He's coming and dapping me up. And what you don't see in the video is right after the throw, he's coming over to me and shaking me and shaking me. And like I text him, I say, hey, man, I love your energy. I love everything you're about. But also, I'm 41, okay? You can't be out there tackling me like that. But I love Brad. We had a couple laughs about it, and, I told him I'm getting him next. He better watch his back.
Tausch? I thought he diffused that very well, but he was perturbed when that happened, and you loved it.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was hilarious. First off, that Broderick would go and tackle him, awesome. Now it sucks if something would have happened to Rodgers, like if he breaks his collarbone because his tackles
Imagine
him,
if that's how his
that
career
would have been
ends,
funny.
No,
that would not have been funny. But the fact that it played out, and the fact here he is making a huge play, pull ahead, get in this game, get back in the game or pull ahead. I don't remember exactly how it shook out. And he goes and tackles him. Rodgers went from euphoric to who the hell did this? Why is this? And just like anger because how that played out. And then he has to kind of figure out how to diffuse the situation. And he did. Mm-hmm. I think everybody that's played, you can sometimes maybe go a little overboard on tackling guys. And we've seen plenty of guys get injured with their celebrations because you're stoked, man. You work hard to score and get these points. And I think the thing that Aaron said there that was really funny is, you want these guys to be excited. Crusty old vets, no big deal. They'll walk down and be like, oh, I gotta sprint down here to get ready for field goal. You want young guys, and I think it's a big reason why Goody does things the way he does. Mm-hmm. You can only have so many old crust balls on your football team. You need that youthful energy. I don't care who it is. It starts dipping. There's some reason the Green Bay Packers don't want a bunch of 30-plus-year-old dudes. Now, if it's at certain spots, all right, things change. This young man still has that energy and enthusiasm, maybe not harnessed in the right way there, but I'll tell you this, that's a guy you want. You want somebody that's that excited and that's that invested. So I think Rodgers handled that about as well as he could, but make no mistake about it. He's super irritated about it. It pissed him off, and he wasn't happy, and it won't happen again. And I think that's the main message that he let his young man know.
So, because you played with him for so many years, did you, and you can not share names to protect the guilty, but did you ever see any of your teammates do something that really pissed him off? It was not intended to, right? Like it was whether it was celebratory or just goofing around, or when you were playing golf with him and you weren't playing well, and you were on the receiving end of him getting irritated with you. Like, were there ever any instances that are similar to what Broderick Jones? And again, Bakhtiari was one of the first people to reshare it on social media. The reaction when he turns around and gets after the kid for tackling him is, we've all seen that look. Everyone, including probably you at some point.
Yeah, So I think with Rodgers, he was still in the youthful, invigorated side of when I played with him. So it was not the – I think that's a question for Blue and for City and for some of the guys that, he played a lot more with. He was excited. He was the guy running around. And I think the big thing that quarterbacks need to kind of figure out, and Brett was awesome at this, you got to kind of have a go-to when you have the big play. Favre always liked being lifted up. Like he was a lift
the fireman's carry.
No, but the old lineman would lift him up, and you'd put him up here, and he'd put his hand up. Like, you got to get a standard move. And I don't know if Rodgers ever had. His standard move was that hop, skip, and like the little, fist pump up. That was his. I think you need to incorporate it, and I think he did that thing with D-Bach where he'd grab his head, and it looked like they were like bumping noses. That seems a little bit more intact with where Aaron wanted to be when he was a little crustier and he's gotten a little older. And maybe the Pittsburgh guys didn't recognize that, and obviously that's why you get form tackled. And Rodgers is lucky he didn't bust his collarbone because, boy, that'd be a hell of a story if that happened.
Well, I do think, and we've talked about this before, older guys are invigorated by younger guys being around too. Like you felt
No
that,
doubt.
right? With Sitton and Lang.
100%.
Like that was one instance of it. Now, one of my criticisms of Rodgers was that this was before the UNC term became popularized. But like, if he'd have been a little more fun Uncle Aaron when he got Dobbs and Watson and that whole 2022 class, maybe things play out differently. Probably not, but maybe at least 2022 is a more enjoyable season because it was not. That's for sure.
It's a hard thing because you have, I don't think none of us know what the quarterbacks is a different animal. Star quarterbacks that are MVPs. I saw it with Brett when Frankie left and when Marco left and with Wally left, and you're sitting there. And you're dealing with a bunch of guys that they don't know you like the guys. When you grow up in the league with guys, they've seen you. All of a sudden, these other guys only see you through a lens of, that's the MVP. Oh, that's the Super Bowl champ. And
right.
It is really hard to break down those barriers. Now, you can do it with a lot of work, but it gets to be draining. And if you have family and kids, it is not an easy thing to accept that. And it's, go ahead and have fun. Be the fun uncle. I mean, it's not what he wants. And then you factor in there's going to be more mistakes, and you're frustrated because you know that your time is wrapping up because they just drafted a guy, and if you don't perform at a really high level, they'll put the young gun in and you're gone. So it's real easy from the cheap seats, Richie, to sit there and say, well, you should have been the fun uncle. You should have been laughing and throwing parades. Well, no, because the urgency level cranks up as you get older. And you don't know the guys. Yes, you have to work and try and effort, but it's not as easy as just snapping your fingers and saying, well, don't be such a crusty old dude. Well, there's a reason you're a crusty old dude because you know your time's coming to an end and you want it to be as successful as you can, and these young guys think they're going to play forever. And What do they always say? Youth is wasted on the young. It's true.
Do you think he did as good of a job as he could have with 2022?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
But I think
I understand.
I think when you're critiquing from the ivory tower, there's a lot more variables to it than just say, well, he should have had lunches with Romeo, and he should have done this.
Lunches with Romeo. He did, but his attitude that season was less than great. He was pissed that they were
sucked, and he knew he was probably done. I get it. You're right, Jason. I'm not. He should have went to OTAs. We said that. All of those things are easy in hindsight to look back at.
Well,
and say,
we said that at the time.
But I understand. But I'm saying from his perspective, I can understand it. I think he realized it because when he went to New York, he did it in a different way, except for that one time when he went to Egypt. It is not as easy, and things aren't as just, well, this is how it has to be. Yeah, ideally I agree, but that's not how it always works out, and it can't. There's a lot put on these guys, and nobody should feel sorry for them, but when you try to understand why guys do things the way they do, it's not, as you like to always put it, it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray.
I agree. They also, like, you look back on that season, they lost 5 games in a row, starting with that London game. And yet they're still playing for a berth in the playoffs on the last night of the season. Like, there were good moments there. There was enough there to win enough games. Like, they lose to the Giants, the Jets, the Commanders, the Bills, and the Lions. And then our most famous game, other than Kissin' Cousins headline, is, now I'm forgetting what we called it, Confirmation Thursday or Verification Thursday or whatever it was against the Tennessee Titans. And
Validation Thursday.
Validation. Yeah. I knew it was one of those shuns. And then they get beat at home on Thursday Night Football by the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. Like, I found myself wondering, and I wonder, like, again, if I had more questions, when you think back at 2022, you said yesterday that you wished it would have ended differently. How much of the way you approached it factored into it not ending differently?
Great question.
Is it better than the others?
Your other one's a little more long-winded, so I think you stick with your long-winded one.
I think I could use that to say, and are you doing things differently now to make sure that you never feel that way again?
You're going to get a canned answer on that.
The text line wants you to ask about his wife.
Yeah, it's not just the text line. I am here to tell you that I can 100% assure you that will not occur.
Will someone from your beat ask him about that?
I don't think so. If we had unlimited time, maybe.
You should, like, draw cards for it, and whoever's at the last question gets to try and ask it.
Nope. All right. I appreciate the insight. I appreciate the suggestions. I'm going to pass.
Are you going to say congrats on getting married?
Nope.
That
I already
would be
said
nice.
that to him. I said it to him already.
What did he say? What did he say? Thanks.
Nothing. You're going to say something about Coors Lights.
Yeah, whether you're tailgating pregame, and I think Jason doesn't drink, but the stress level for him today, very high. That'd be nice when you want to just sit back and chill after a long, tough day asking no follow-ups but just one pointed question to the former quarterback. Oh, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company of Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
At Wilde Automotive, we make it easier than ever to get you into America's best-selling trucks and SUV during Wilde Truck and SUV Month. Ford, Ram, Chevy, GMC, Jeep, Kia, Volkswagen, and more. Wilde is your one-stop shop for trucks and SUV. All makes, models, and sizes. Choose 0 down, 0 payments till 2026, or 0% financing. All with our low price guarantee. All in one place. Wilde Truck and SUV Month going on now.
Go to ewaldeauto.com.
On select models with approved credit, see dealer for details. Expires month end.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Can we get back to Rodgers in a little while?
What, are you getting Rodgered out?
No. What the hell is going on in the National Basketball Association? Chauncey Billups coached last night in the Trailblazers' loss to the Timberwolves, and now he's been arrested. And has he been fired now officially by the Blazers?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention. I don't know. Typically, you get arrested like that. It's
allegedly
on leave. Yeah, allegedly. I don't know.
They can't exactly meet with him to have him sign papers that he got fired. So I can't imagine he's actually fired yet.
So if you have not been following this story, it broke this morning. You can find it on ESPN.com and, of course, many other places.
Did you see it on Good Morning America?
That is where I saw it, actually. There's a lot of crossover with ESPN and Good Morning America, you know. And so Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have been arrested as part of a wide-ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia, authorities announced Thursday. Boy, is that a sentence that I never thought I'd read.
Yeah, that's one you don't want to be a part of, I can tell you that. I don't think that's one you're looking for.
I just want to say, in 1 week, we've had a real-life heist of the Louvre and mafia poker games being rigged by an NBA head coach, allegedly. And
yeah, make sure
all my favorite
allegedly.
TV shows are coming to life all in 1 week. This is incredible.
What do we need to have happen for your show, The Blacklist, to occur?
The world's most wanted fugitive needs to be helping the FBI in secret. That's the only other thing that needs to be
Maybe
happening.
they are. This is an FBI investigation.
So I'll say this, Jason, because I think the narrative now is going to be, well, the leagues are taking this gambling money. You sign up for it, right? And that I think that's what some folks are going to say, right?
That's what I would have said, yes. That's very fair criticism of me.
Here's what I would argue, and I think it was a risky play for every major sports league to get in bed with gambling. The money is too great for them to not. And I think the argument you're going to hear is if you didn't have all of this, because these I guess the DraftKings and some of these other sites, they have to be on their P's and Q's. And I don't know if this stuff comes to light if they're not. That is what you're going to hear. Now, if you want to believe that, if you don't, that's up to y'all. But I will say there have been irregularities shown, and people have been investigated. Some players and coaches have gotten a slap on the wrist and moved on with their life. Right. This seems very substantial. I don't know. I have not read all of the indictments, but the argument is the more transparency and more data that people can collect, the easier it will be to find the bad actors in these scenarios. Whether or not you want to buy that, that's up to you.
Billups, who was arrested in Oregon, is charged in a separate indictment alleging a wide-ranging scheme to rig underground poker games that were backed by mafia families, authorities said. The defendants are accused of using technology to steal millions from victims in the New York area. So basically, this is like Rounders? And Teddy KGB?
Where he's dealing off the bottom? What is the, what was it, the hammer claw or whatever it was? Yeah. I feel a little, I just want to make sure that we're getting this right, because this is movie type stuff.
Yes.
Molly's Game. Like this is stuff. This is real life stuff. So I want to make sure, all these details. But the bottom line is, you better, as commissioners of these sports, you better be careful. And I know the NBA has had its issues. This obviously is going to be a big boy one. They had the Donaghy deal that I have to admit, they somehow got that pushed aside relatively easily in a world where that was a monster scandal that kind of just went fizzle, bye-bye. This is a big boy one, allegedly.
All right, so this is why I wanted to get to this, because you've heard me bellyache and whine about the injury report in the NFL. Yeah. But I wanted to have a serious conversation about this stuff, because I think your phrasing of getting in bed is a very fair choice of words. You have chosen to go down this path because of the gigantic pot of gold at the end of that path of having, whether it's daily fantasy or betting on things, like you've gone all in, so to speak, right? I mean, they've got during football games.
Unintended.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for noticing. I mean, they are partners. FanDuel and everything. They're all partners of these leagues. So my question for you, Tausch, is you have opposing forces. You have coaches that want to play those games and do the gamesmanship and not give away any information that's going to put them at a competitive disadvantage. We just heard Aaron Glenn yesterday say he knows who his quarterback is, but he's not telling anyone, between Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. Which, again, from a coaching perspective, I don't blame him, right?
Sure.
My question is, if the league has embraced to such a degree, this is not underground poker games backed by the mafia, which I still can't believe we're talking about. I mean, if you would have predicted topics on this show, I would have never thought it's like a Law and Order episode. But in the more mainstream betting, gambling world, Do you believe that leagues should require much more transparency for their own good, even if their coaches are pissed about it? Like, should you have to announce, like, again, we love Pat Murphy. I don't know how much he knew or didn't know about what his pitching plans were. But in order for people who are wagering with your partner companies, should you be required to announce your starting pitcher? Should you be more detailed in your injury reports? Like, should that be required? Is my question.
Man, I don't think you're going to be able to do that, because for most of these teams, they're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about point spreads and over-unders. They're thinking about, what can we do if I can stop and put a lefty in the beginning of a baseball game to limit what they can do in that first inning or second inning. I want to do that, and I don't want them to be able to plan far ahead to do that. Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to know that my quarterback's toe hurts or that my offensive lineman's got a bad wheel and maybe you can blitz more. Oh, my center's not going to play. Oh, I have a corner. I don't want to give that information out. And if sports needs to be the reason sports are so popular and why we love them is there's drama and you don't know the outcome. And when you start tinkering and having people that are associated, even if it's wrong or even if it's not, you just give that perception, like you did with Donaghy. Sports are in trouble. You have to fight that. So I understand your question. I still believe the main thing needs to be about winning, and you have to really root out any of the malfeasance that might be going on in clubhouses, locker rooms, et cetera, et cetera. And that is not the easiest thing to do. I think, again, what you're going to hear is that this got snuffed out because of their gambling partners reporting irregularities in certain games and in certain wagers, and that allowed them to get to this early and stop it. And that is going to be the fallback of these leagues. Whether you want to believe that, I'll say this. They're not going to pass and turn this back into all of the gambling being illegal and under the table. That is not where this is going to go. And if we're being honest, maybe it's not you, maybe it's not me, maybe it's not all, but there are a lot of folks that sports, the reason they're as intrigued as they are is because they got a little scratch down on those games. That's why they're as intrigued and interested and vested in these sporting teams as they are.
Yeah, I want to be very clear. This is a story about like poker games. Now, the Rozier thing, there's a point shaving component to this as I read further, and that is an issue. There was a bunch of bets placed on him and the unders of a bunch of his totals. He left the game with a foot injury, allegedly. Like, these sports books stopped taking bets on him because there was a surge in bets in a small amount of time. That's different. I get that. But to me, my only argument here is that I think leagues, if they're going to reap the benefits financially, it's going to require some greater actions that maybe coaches don't want, so there's greater transparency. I agree with you. If I'm the manager, I don't want to have to tip my who's going to pitch for me if I don't have to. But again, there's some give and take, and if you want to take the money, it's going to require, and you're going to make your coaches or players angry about it. But to me, that's the part of this that I find interesting. That's all. The other part of this is just wild. It's just a wild story.
Dude, you want to know my favorite part of the whole story? And there's a lot of things that are very compelling about it.
Yes, I'd love to hear.
Terry Rozier's attorney is named Jim Trusty.
Jim Trusty?
Jim Trusty. Oh, Jim Trusty.
Would you trust an attorney named Jim Trusty?
Sounds made up. This entire thing sounds like a plot to a movie or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
Not as much as I trust Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. David and his team have been doing it for nearly 40 years, making sure that you're taken care of if you've been injured in an accident. Hopefully you never have to make that call, but if you do, one call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Hey, let's play some trivia.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jesse, what's today's category, and what caller would you prefer?
Today's trivia category, since we're spending much of the show discussing the revenge game that isn't a revenge game between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers' greatest Green Bay hits.
Ooh.
Today's trivia category. Probably appropriate for caller 12, don't you think?
You know what? He's worn, let's see, he's in the NFL, he's worn 12, 8, and 8. 12 plus 8 is 20, plus 8 is 28.
Do it, I dare ya.
Caller 28. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 28 for trivia, which we will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Greasy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
For the first time since his departure 3 years ago, the Green Bay Packers will face former quarterback, first-round pick, 4-time MVP, and Super Bowl champion Aaron Rodgers as he leads the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. Rodgers speaking at his locker in Pittsburgh about his mindset of facing his former team.
I don't have any animosity toward the organization. Obviously, I wish that things have been better in our last year there, but I have a great relationship with a lot of people still in that organization.
It's Packers Steelers from Acrisure Stadium on Sunday Night Football. The Packers 3.5-point favorites. I'm Alex Strope.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because you have a manly truck that you do manly things with, and you don't want the truck bed getting all beat up. You want Rhino Liner by Z-Bart to keep your truck bed man-proof. So man up and ask for Rhino Liner by Z-Bart.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property. It's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal and Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where life happens. At Grimal and Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
We'll get back to Aaron Rodgers by getting to trivia. How'd Caller 28 work out for you?
We got a ton of phone calls. We were done. I had all the information for our contestant. We still had like a minute and a half left in the commercial break. I had time to put my feet up, eat a donut, all that stuff here.
Oh, good. Glad our popularity continues to surge. Time now for trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Let's welcome in our contestant. It's been a while, but he's been a friend of the show for a long time. It is Dan in Brothertown. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Just awesome, man. How you been?
We're happy to have you back. Looking forward to another successful Phoenix season.
Absolutely.
And you sitting not courtside. You're a little farther up in the stands. Let's play some trivia. The category is Aaron Rodgers' greatest Green Bay hits. Tausch, you participating in this?
Yeah, I'll take that middle question. Absolutely.
Okay. Good to know. Question 1, Dan, is this. Aaron Rodgers' first career playoff victory as a starting quarterback was a win over the Eagles in the wild card round in 2010. Which player was the starting quarterback for the Eagles in that game? Was it Michael Vick, Mark Sanchez, or Marcus Tuiasosopo?
I believe that was Vic.
Indeed it was. 1 for 1.
All right, Dan. Which of these Packers did not catch a Hail Mary touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers in a game that the Packers won?
Ooh.
Is it Richard Rodgers, Randall Cobb, or Jeff Janis?
Oh. Who are the three again? Who's the first one?
Rodgers, Cobb, and Janis.
I'm going to say Cobb.
Tough one.
Richard,
Arizona Cardinals.
That's right.
Yes, Richard Rodgers in Detroit, Cobb against the Giants at Lambeau, Jeff Janis in Arizona, where they then lost in overtime. All right, let's bounce back. Right. Question 3.
All right.
Hey, what'd you always tell your players? Don't let the last possession beat you on this possession. Next play. Which Green Bay Packers player caught Aaron Rodgers' first touchdown pass as a starting quarterback in Rodgers' debut as QB1 on Monday Night Football against the Vikings to start the 2008 season? Now, I know that this has been said on this show multiple times over the years.
He's been on the show.
He has been a guest during our Fart series. Former Aaron Rodgers teammates. which was a classic.
That was fun.
really fun when we did that, by the way. Your choices are Ravel Martin, Donald Lee, or Corey Hall.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is really hard.
The fact that it was one of them is amazing.
Your choices again, Dan. Ravel Martin, Donald Lee, or Corey Hall.
He's been on the show. I'm going to go with Corey Hall.
It was Corey Hall, indeed, and a hell of a play. Remember that one, Tausch?
I do. It was a great play. Rodgers threw a great throw, tough catch. I think he got drilled as he was throwing it.
Twisted into a pretzel. Yeah, it was a great throw. Dan, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries for our Cousins Subs gift card at the end of the week. Great to hear from you, buddy. We appreciate you. Thanks.
You bet. We'll see you guys around. Take care. Love you guys.
All right, love you guys.
Dan.
He's one of the OGs.
Yeah, he is.
Or the old OCs, original contestants of Wilde and Tausch trivia, right? OC? So that is Wilde and Tausch trivia. Tausch, I do want to ask you this in all seriousness. Are we talking too much Aaron Rodgers? I don't want to push people away from the program, but if there's ever a week to discuss him, this is the week, right? You okay with our Rodgers content level?
I don't think I actually thought we'd have more. So, no, I think you're going to talk to him today. He spoke yesterday. It is the storyline, and I know we'll be doing that tomorrow along with a lot of other stuff. But he is one of the top 3 figures in the history from a player standpoint of the Green Bay Packers. His era of football was fantastic. Now, he didn't get as many championships, but, yeah, it's a big deal this week. No doubt. I could understand fans in the past tell us, you talk too much Rodgers. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but not this week. And there are other things. I think some of the other stuff that I'd like to hit on today, Jordan Love and his third down percent and what he's been able to do. There's other stuff that I sent you guys last night. I do not think there's a problem with what you're how you're handling today's show. No.
So I got an email here from Jason that I'm going to read next. There's no love lost for this Jason when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to ask what you think of his thoughts. I'm going to do that. The word disingenuous is used a multitude of times in this email.
Okay.
I'll read it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Timeout on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Bucks basketball is back, and it's time to play. There's nothing like the energy inside Fiserv Forum. The roar of the crowd, the freakish slam dunks, the buzzer-beating threes. Catch the Bucks at home against New York Tuesday, October 28th, and Golden State Thursday, October 30th. And with the addition of Miles Turner, this season is set to be electric. Get in on the action with a ticket plan that works for you. Don't miss a moment of the excitement. Get your seats now at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. At 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior, smooth taste worth playing for. Grab a Michelob Ultra Superior Light beer as you cheer your team on. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy a Michelob Ultra at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound in Milwaukee, Harp in Milwaukee, Root River Center in Franklin, and the New Fashioned in Milwaukee. Please enjoy responsibly.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by 2 locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Group, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. I'm Tony Wendorf. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Contact us today to get started. Tony Wendorf and Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So I want to always be aware of how our fans are feeling about various topics and be open to their thoughts in addition to mine. And I feel like maybe you already said that maybe I'm making a bigger deal of certain things than were actually true. I disagree with you on that Favre thing. The conversations that I had with him subsequently made it sound like it was pretty crummy. The romanticization of his time here, and maybe glossing over some of the not so great stuff, including, I mean, let's be honest, he complained about Big Mike a lot, and was not exactly like that Bills game. I remember that Bills game vividly where they win 17-0. And he is up there just.
I think it was 19-0.
19-0. I think you might be right. So, with that in mind, this email comes from Jason, not me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again, which is a variation on the Chiliism. The game room's closed. I excused Aaron's comments earlier in his career because I didn't think he could articulate his thoughts, but I was fooled. Aaron Rodgers is a seriously disingenuous person. COVID immunization, disingenuous. For years, he claims he wants privacy, but he goes on McAfee, Jeopardy, etc. Disingenuous. Poor cell coverage in Malibu. Disingenuous. Publicly chastising the Packers organization for a poor culture and choosing to play for the New York Jets organization. Disingenuous. Off-season trips abroad and not getting enough personal time to spend in Ireland this year when he has work commitments. Disingenuous. Why on earth would anybody ever believe another word he says, including that he has love for the Packers organization? What do you make of that? Because I do think that
what do you make of it? This struck you. What do you make of it?
I think there's some validity to what he's saying there. Now, again, the complicated fella line, for all the joking around we do with it, it is accurate. Like we said that about Mark Murphy when he said it, right? He said the quiet part out loud, kind of like when he went on the broadcast of the WIAA State Girls Basketball Tournament and basically said, yeah, we'll take him back if we have no other options. That was Mark Murphy in a nutshell during his tenure as president.
He's a complicated fella.
That said, like my issue here is I don't know how most Packers fans feel about him. Do they have warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feelings about this week leading into the game? They want to beat him on Sunday night. I get that. You want your team to win so they can continue to improve their record so they can maybe get one of the most important number one seeds in NFL history and maybe make it to the Super Bowl. But there's people that have warm, fuzzy feelings. There's people that just hate his guts. And a lot of that is for things he has said, and things he believes, and things that people disagree with. So I don't want to paint this as all puppy dogs and ice cream and seashells and balloons, because I understand it's not. But, that felt over-the-top harsh to me. And Jason's been with us from the very beginning of the show. He's a huge fan of the show.
So what do you disagree with Jason about?
I think that everyone evolves, but not always in the greatest way. And it's his life. It's not my job to say, oh, he's evolving in a wrong direction. That's not, I don't get to say that. I'm sure people could say that about me. But there have been changes to him that from where I sit, I don't like them as much. They make me wonder who he's surrounded himself with, and if anybody ever pushes back on him on things, those types of things. Those are the thoughts that I have. But Homer asked me a question last night on his show, if I still think that Aaron Rodgers is a good person, and I said yes, because I do. Just because I disagree with certain things doesn't mean I think he's now become a villain.
Sure.
He's said and done things that I have wondered why and what the upside is of that. Is that an unreasonable position to hold?
I guess the question I have is when Jason kept saying disingenuous, how many of those do you agree with? Jason's perspective.
I think
I'll say this. The last part of it, and I said this in the beginning of the show, I do think he has a lot of love for the Packers. I do. Nate Weir, Flea, Kurt, Brian Nearing. There's a lot of lifelong Packer that he spent 18, 19 years with that there is not a doubt in my mind that he has love for that. And I do think his 2 years in New York completely shifted his mindset about the Packers, even with it ending the way it did.
Yep.
And you can sometimes have a bad ending and still remember all the good times. Yes, there was some Mike McCarthy. That doesn't mean him and Mike didn't have more good times than bad.
Right.
The bad times get more shine. It's how this works.
Right.
I mean, it's right, but it's the reality. So do I think in the grand scheme of things he has a lot of love for Mike McCarthy, and he still thought Mike could have been better at the end of his time there? I do.
Yep.
I think the love trumps the bad times, but that isn't what we remember because it was final. Mike got walked out the building. And it wasn't, Aaron Rodgers was a part of that. You didn't have to say he didn't fire him, but he definitely didn't help keep him hired. So I think some of the points that are brought up are also valid, but I do believe in this case, and maybe I'm being duped. I don't think so.
I
see through a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I do think that, as I said in the beginning of the show, I don't think him and Goody get along at all. And I think he wants to show Goody, blank you. But Goody, in fairness, Packers have won this. They've won this one.
Yep.
And I think Rodgers knows that.
To your point, I think his experience in New York. What's the old saying? You don't know what you got till it's gone. For as much as he complained,
grass is always greener, and
right, all those, yeah.
Grass,
I think the
grass wasn't greener over there.
After he experienced the institutional dysfunction of that organization, that I think he had a better appreciation for what he didn't appreciate when he was here. That is what I believe. And I think he probably is in Pittsburgh now and sees another operation that's a little more buttoned up, like Green Bay was, and realizes that that's a good thing. At the same time, some of the stuff that Jason's email brings up, I 1 minute you are a very private person, then you are very much out there, and now we're back to being a private person, right? With his marriage and all these texts we're getting on, I'm not making that my question. The way he handled the you got to FaceTime me and that other stuff, I'm sorry. You got to be better. And you didn't exactly take the high road out of town with the way you handled it, which is what allowed Jordan Love to walk in as the starter and not have a lot of people clamoring for the guy that just left, unlike the last time.
Correct.
So it all happened the way it happened. Do I love some of the things that he would criticize publicly, whether it was Matt LaFleur's plan for England and then having it happen again with the Ireland trip? Some of that stuff, do I think it's productive for him to do that and undercut people? I do not. So there are certainly valid criticisms to be had about him. I don't disagree with that at all. But
when did they go to Ireland? Am I missing an Ireland trip?
The Steelers did.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, when did the Packers go to Ireland? Oh, okay.
And they're complaining.
Yeah, that English. In fairness, Rodgers was right about the England trip. That was brutal by LaFleur. Like, that whole thing was handled bad.
What do you mean?
When he was pouting about having to go, and
his attitude
I think that was
horrible.
one of the low. That was one of the low points of LaFleur, and I think he definitely learned his lesson from that.
He still hates international games. He just isn't as obvious about it publicly.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. Now, if that's you can't put that out there and give your team. That was poorly handled by Matt, and I don't mind. Aaron, could he have done it in house? Probably, but it didn't work, and you saw it.
That's true. All right, we got some other things we want to get to. Tausch, it's time for you to tell us about Prize Picks.
Prize Picks. Well, last night, Middleton. What did he end up with? 23
went
points
for it. Yeah. You called it.
Giannis only played 27 minutes and just zip all the way through. Yep, Prize Picks is the best way to cash in while watching your favorite teams. Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. They offer injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. You know what? And Prize Picks is secure. Offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. You can join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Oh, okay. It is good to be right. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The shot clock's winding down, and Saturn Lounge scores at the buzzer. When your marketing needs a slam dunk, our team drives the lane with creative strategy, branding, websites, video storytelling, and marketing campaigns that win. We run the full court press in every engagement, pushing the pace, finding that open shot, and delivering the highlight reel results. Our Saturn Lounge team ensures that your marketing content and campaigns dominate like a champion. Don't settle for a turnover or a missed shot or a wasted possession. Let Saturn Lounge run your marketing game plan now. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Milwaukee, it's officially time for October baseball. The energy is electric, the city is buzzing, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Carbless. Carbless is the ready-to-drink cocktail that keeps fans cheering. No sugar, full of flavor, and always refreshingly delicious. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, celebrating downtown, or gathering with friends at home, Carbless is your go-to for every big hit, every clutch play, and every Brewers moment. So crack open a Carbless, raise it high, and toast to October baseball in Milwaukee, because nothing goes better with the big stage in baseball than finding your bliss. Visit drinkcarbless.com and see where Carbless is located nearest to you.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
So we've spent fairly extended period here talking about warm fuzzy feelings and then maybe not so warm fuzzy feelings, but the kind of vibes and whatever about Rodgers versus the Packers. I'm sorry, Steelers versus Packers. The Steelers happen to have Aaron Rodgers. What about Rodgers the player and how he's playing right now? Because that is what's ultimately going to decide who wins on Sunday night at Acrisure Stadium with that crappy field of theirs. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about Rodgers and how he is playing, which I thought was very interesting.
At the end of the day, I think it's another game.
Sorry, that's Jordan Love. Hang on.
Well, he sounds a lot like Jordan Love.
That was really good.
This is what you're looking for.
He looks like he can still do anything. What's surprising for such an old man, he's still moving around pretty good too. So you've seen it in multiple games. I mean, he had an off schedule the other day versus Cincinnati where they drop 8, and he's running back and forth the field, throws a touchdown pass. Obviously, the one to Freiermuth, that 70-yarder he got out of the pocket, made a hell of a throw on that one. The arm strength is still plenty there. You see it you especially saw it on the Hail Mary. I mean, I don't know many guys that can throw the ball over 70 yards in the air. I'm not quite sure how far it went, but had to have been at least 70 yards. It's still pretty impressive what he can do. He can throw with pinpoint accuracy. There was one, I know the ball ended up getting picked off, but it's 2-man on DK, and he threads the needle, and the DB just ripped it away. But it was a great pass. It's just this guy is extremely accurate, and he can, if you give him just a sliver of light, he can fit the ball in there.
So, Tausch, I did watch the Thursday night game he played against the Bengals, which was a really, really entertaining game. He did throw 2 picks. One of them was the throw that LaFleur's talking about there. When we see a report like the one from Jeremy Fowler that says the Steelers would love to have him back for another year after this, which, again, there's a lot of football left to be played, do you think he's playing at a high enough level that you're thinking, yeah, he should play longer? You mentioned your thoughts on the Vikings idea earlier. Like, have you been surprised at how well he's played? And what are your expectations for him moving forward the rest of this season and maybe even beyond?
Yeah, I think I got caught in the New York Jets ineptitude and the fact that he was coming back from an Achilles. He was not moving great. I give him a ton of credit for continuing to work and get himself, because, is he the same elusive guy that he was in his late 20s, early 30s with the Packers? No. But you see, he's able to still find ways out of the pocket, still, throws it as good as anybody. And I remember Dan Marino would say, and the old quarterbacks would always tell you, it's never the arm that goes, it's the legs. And I kind of started thinking that that's where Rodgers was heading, and then when his Achilles and everything else. Because even, in Green Bay, there was a play he did a read option, and he got tracked down by a D lineman, and said, hey, he's lost a half a step or a step, and those things catch up with you quick, because then everything gets rushed. And as an athlete, you want to be in control. And when you get rushed or pressured earlier than you want, things can kind of fade. I think he has been a lot better than I anticipated. I think part of it is that, Pittsburgh has, done some things. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. He's going to have to do that on Sunday. And if he's doing that, he still throws it as good as anybody. And if you look around, Joe Flacco is still playing. Carson Wentz is playing. Jacoby Brissett is playing. If Aaron Rodgers wants to play till he's 45 and he's not charging $45 or $50 million to play, there is going to be, last year it was like, oh, who's even going to want him? Well, the Giants wanted him. Pittsburgh wanted him. Minnesota should have wanted him. And if he continues on this, and again, staying healthy, and does he want to go through the grind of doing this again now that he's a married man and everything else? If I was betting, I would say this is going to be his last year. But if it's not, there'll still be teams that want him because he can still throw the ball as good as anybody. It's just, can he move and stay healthy at this age? That is always going to be the question when you start getting over 40.
Well, we will see how Sunday goes for him in terms of his performance. I think you're right, though. The institutional dysfunction of the New York Jets, he underestimated it, right? He thought he could change that. And then I will always wonder what the arc is if he never ruptures his Achilles. That I don't know how you don't wonder that. I'm assuming he doesn't sit
about that. Yeah.
Well, I do. I wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
The Wunderkinds.
Years.
All right.
The Wonder Years.
It's a
Who
classic
was the gal
as
in
well.
the Wonder Years? Winnie. That's an
Winnie
underrated
Cooper?
name. Winnie. Yeah, what a great, fun first name. Winnie.
Like the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh. Fun-loving little bear, right? Loved honey.
Loves his honey.
Okay. The Winnie the Pooh hour will start in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's homecoming this weekend at UW Whitewater. Make plans to cheer on your Warhawks when they welcome in UW Platteville in a top 15 battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. The annual George Christ Memorial Bowl game features a pair of top 15 ranked teams. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Pioneers to Perkins Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. For tickets to this rivalry game, go to uwwsports.com. Warhawk football powered by tradition.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
It was a historic season for the Milwaukee Brewers this year. A franchise record 97 wins, a 15-game win streak, NL Central champions, and advancing to the National League Championship Series for the first time since 2018. Here's Brewers manager Pat Murphy on looking ahead to next season.
Right now, we just have to sit back and look at our health and make sure guys are getting healthy, guys that need off-season procedures and things to get done. Yeah, I mean, I love the guys. I love what they bring to the table. I love their possibilities going forward. But like every year, we'll look a little different for sure.
The crew will now have the offseason to gear up for the 2026 season.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
gets to. So
I did hear we
excited
are
for
very good at not prematurely crowning anyone on winning anything on this show earlier this week. So maybe we shouldn't give Tausch the win just yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the point being, so here he is discussing this, and we'll get to the surface thing in a second because that was also asked of him. But it is his plan to play on Sunday night. Here is Christian Watson.
That's my plan. I mean, I say it every week, but, obviously just leaving it up to the trainers. But, I mean, my goal and my plan is to play this week. I'd say I could have played last week, too, to be honest. But, obviously just got to make sure, I'm hearing, everybody's opinions on everything and just being as smart as possible about it.
All right, so a couple things. First of all, Tausch, when you would be coming back from an injury, and this has been a ramp-up period, he knows, right? They're not, holding him in limbo, right? Do you think they've told him, hey, you're good to go? We're going to play you
What
this
is
week.
holding you in limbo? Because limbo is going low, right? What does holding in limbo mean?
I think limbo has a couple of different meanings. I chose that over purgatory, but being in limbo means you're in this kind of state of uncertainty.
But the limbo is one of the most certain things you do on a rink or if you're doing a dance. You have to get lower than the bar. That is certain. That's why I'm so confused by it. Do you understand what I'm asking? What I'm saying? Because
I do.
There's nothing more certain in the roller skate rink or dance game than limbo. You have a bar. You got to get below it. Period. Fin. And in this case, there is some gray area. Limbo, there is no gray area. Get lower in the bar.
I think your problem more so, because limbo is defined as the between space. I think your problem is actually with the name of the game, limbo. It should actually be called, how low can you go, as opposed to limbo, because limbo isn't actually played in limbo.
Really good job, Jesse. Yes, limbo, per Merriam-Webster, in a forgotten or ignored state, place, or situation. Now, I would say
that doesn't fit.
Yes, but also plate. Plate. Yeah, you eat off of a plate. You also throw the ball over home plate. Just because the word is plate in baseball doesn't mean that you are eating off of it in between pitches.
Okay, let's not bury the lead. Not to be confused with lead and everything else. What was your question about Christian Watson? He's got to tell.
You're the one who did this.
I understand. Christian Watson knows if he's going to play or not.
Thank you.
They had a plan, and I believe there's no limbo, or there is limbo, depending on how you look at the word limbo. Christian Watson's going under the bar, and he's going to go play. That's by all accounts. Now, something can happen. There could be a setback. I don't know. But, no, you don't just willy-nilly sit there, I'm going to practice, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe this will be it. You're in it. That's how this thing shakes itself out. So, no, he is going to be a part of the plan. I'm guessing it will be a dose. I can't imagine it's going to be a full-on anecdote. But I'm guessing it'll be small doses of Christian Watson this week, not 30 or 40 snaps. I would guess 20 or less is what he'll get.
Okay, so antidote or anecdote? Anecdote is a story.
Antidote.
Since we're doing the limbo.
Like a medicine that is
antidote. For, like you're being
That's what I
poisoned
said.
and you take the antidote.
No, I said an antidote, which is exactly what I meant. That is
Matt
always
LaFleur,
the case, so... It's not always the case. Sometimes I mess those words up. Not that.
Matt LaFleur is at the podium right now. Per Rob Domofsky, Matt LaFleur on Christian Watson saying he's planning to play on Sunday. Quote, that's a great mindset to have. I want all our guys to have that mindset. But ultimately, that's going to be a medical decision.
Oh.
So maybe he is in limbo. Also, LaFleur says Dontavion Wicks is unlikely to play this week with his calf injury that he suffered last week.
Well, that makes it more likely that Christian Watson will play.
Well, now, the last time someone wasn't able to play, and they played Christian Watson when they weren't planning on playing him, he blew out his knee.
That was not ideal. Yeah.
So, again...
Well, Christian Watson, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in all these pressers. He said that he was ready to go last week, but they were the reins got pulled back.
That is
correct?
what he said. He believes he could have played weeks ago, though.
Sure.
And you know this as well as anyone. You guys always think you can play. Always.
Well,
almost
yeah,
always.
you hope to if you're healthy enough. But where I think this is going to be such a big piece is Green Bay has not really hit on a ton of explosives, at least over the top this season. Had some opportunities, a miss to Golden a couple weeks ago. Christian Watson is that guy. And I know Jesse disagrees. He thinks Christian Watson is just the guy. It's not that big a deal. He adds another layer to this offense, and this offense needs field stretching. And now you add in Golden, who's another burner.
For sure.
It can loosen things up. It's going to make Tucker's job easier. It's going to make, I think, everybody's job easier if Christian Watson can go out there and even threaten. It'll help Josh Jacobs run the football, help his offensive line get more hold. That's what a home run hitter, which is how I describe Christian Watson. Now, I don't know. Has he lost a step? Anytime you're coming back from a major injury, as a player, you have all the right thoughts, but you need some verification. And Christian's done a great job rehabbing. He has gotten himself in position to play. But I'm sure the first time you get out there, there's a little bit of nervousness, and you really are looking for that first hit, that first cut, that first big play to say, yeah, I've worked hard and I believed I was back, but now, baby, I'm back. Let's go limbo.
So I do want to. We don't have the audio of this, but this is what he said when we asked him about playing on a surface where there has been criticism, including by Pittsburgh Steelers players themselves. Okay,
including their quarterback. Yeah,
indeed. When I'm at 100%, obviously in years past, I wasn't thinking about the surfaces. If I'm worried about the turf, then honestly, I probably wouldn't be playing anyway. My goal is to feel 100%, so that's not really something that we're thinking about. Now, call me a helicopter beat writer, but should that be part of the equation here or not? I think it should be.
In an ideal world, no. But I do think if you're playing at the Meadowlands or whatever they call that place now, and there's been a ton of injuries, even though they say there's not, it seems as if a lot of guys have gotten hurt up there. Detroit has been another place that feels like guys have gotten hurt more regularly. Christian's right that you shouldn't be thinking about that. That shouldn't be at top of mind. But I do think you want to look at it. You want to give guys the best chance to be successful. Yeah, you can't sit and wait and hope. What's the old saying? You can't chase perfection in order to have some progress. Perfection is there. I don't know if there is anything perfect.
Sure.
Lambeau Field to me is as good as it gets.
Right, and that's where you're
I would prefer. I know from my perspective, I would have preferred to when I was coming back from a knee, I would have preferred to play at home for a lot of reasons. The turf and the fact I was going to be in less compromising positions just because of snap count and things like that. That's just for me. Wide receivers, it might be different. But the bottom line is, if you're healthy enough to play, you're healthy enough to play. You'll go play on a concrete park if you're healthy enough and that's the next game.
Well,
you don't want to miss opportunities to go play.
You're right.
What was that? I missed your comment.
I said that seems dangerous to play on a concrete park.
Well, I just remember John Gruden saying, we'll play anybody anywhere. We'll play them on a concrete park. I thought that was a fun line.
It is a fun line. I just wanted to add that I thought that sounded dangerous.
Nice. It is.
Okay. Glad we could relive that.
Dangerous.
So, bottom line, you think he's playing based on this or not? Because now Matt LaFleur's up there saying it's a medical decision.
Yeah, he's playing a little coy, but the fact that he doesn't think Wicks is playing, because
that
then
could affect the
you have
betting
to
lines?
balance that out. You have to balance that out and say, well, all right, if he's playing, okay, well, all of a sudden, how many reps are we going to get? He's not going to be a special teams guy. That's always kind of mixed into that stew.
Baked into the cake.
Who stays, who dresses, and who doesn't. But Christian Watson, he's been chomping, and if they cleared him and he's ready to go, and he's saying the way he's talking, he knows something.
Yes,
and
that's what
LaFleur's
I
trying
thought.
to kind of shove the little genie back in the bottle. And as we all know that watched I Dream of Genie, although she did go back in the bottle, so that was kind of an oxymoron. She would go back in the bottle. So I can't go back to I Dream of Genie. You can't. Once that's released, you kind of have an idea where he's going.
The incredible irony of the timely references that we make on this program is, correct me if I'm wrong, Larry Hagman, both in I Dream of Genie and in Dallas. So Larry Hagman, a key figure on Wilde and Tausch. Is that right?
How did he meet I Dream of Genie? Was she in the bottle and he met her, or did he meet her at like a cocktail party?
And this is also, just to be clear, so I got my...
Because that was a pretty good, can we agree, pretty good pull for Larry Hagman back in the day. Like, she grants you wishes, and she's pretty good looking, and she occasionally would go hide in the bottle.
Eden.
Like, that's a pretty good little deal for Larry Hagman, right?
So in the pilot episode... In the pilot episode, astronaut Captain Tony Nelson, as played by Larry Hagman, crashes on a deserted island, finds a mysterious bottle, and accidentally releases a genie named Genie.
That's good. That was good name selection there.
I Dream of Genie ran, this is amazing, 139 episodes from 1967 through 1970.
I got to admit, I'd rather watch the Chauncey Billups show that they're going to be making.
65 through 70, I'm corrected there. Larry Hagman that really launched his career as the astronaut who crash lands on a deserted island. But he did well for himself. Yes, I would agree. Now, don't confuse this show with Bewitched.
Yeah, I didn't know there were two that were like the same show.
Well, she's not a genie. She's a witch.
No, that's
and
not
she
even
can, like,
the same boat.
Crinkle her nose.
What's her name? Never went into a bottle.
It's not even in the same boat. It's
she
almost
didn't go into a
same
bottle.
premise.
She was never in a bottle, though. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Yeah, no. But then in that show, they switched the Darrens.
That I remember. Yes.
Why did she come out of the bottle? Was it when Hagman landed? Did it spark something?
So I don't know enough about the pilot episode of, like, does he rub the bottle? He finds it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know the crash landed on the deserted island part. That I knew.
And why did she ever go back in the bottle? Because as we've stated, usually genies don't go back in the bottle.
Again, like, once she was out, was she always out?
And then I think there were times Hagman went inside the bottle with her.
No.
Shut up.
It's a weird.
Really?
No, I do. I think she because I think she.
That doesn't seem very realistic to me.
I don't know exactly how that all played out, but I don't know how we got here either, but we did.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Kind of in limbo on the show right now.
Nice. Matt LaFleur trying to put the genie back in the bottle about Christian Watson playing. That's how we got there. All right.
Yep.
We got more to get to. As much as I do want to explore, like, how did they explain on Bewitched that suddenly a new actor was playing Darren? I don't understand that at all. And everyone noticed. It's not like they were surprised.
Wow.
It's like when they replaced Willie Mays Hayes in the second Major League movie with Omar Epps instead of Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I think there's been plenty of cases. I think in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the mom left. There's a new mom. It was just like no big deal. Here's big. What was the big dude's name?
Phil.
The dad.
Phil.
Big Phil doesn't even recognize that he's got a different wife? Like, there's never an acknowledgement. He just is like, oh, yeah, there's Vivian, and then there's Vivian again, and they don't even look anything
Different
alike.
Aunt Vivians. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Big Phil.
Big Phil.
Big Phil.
That was a great show. I love that show.
That was a great show.
We need to shift gears. I also need to remind you about what we've got going on with Colette Vacations. I tell you about it a lot. My understanding is there has been a ton of interest, but we want more interest. It would be great if we can have a huge contingent going across the pond to England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We leave July 5th, and we'd love for you to be a part of it, seeing the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. We're going to go to Big Ben in London, and then we're going to go to Edinburgh Castle and see the history there. We're going to go to Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon. Then we're also going to go to the medieval, as Tausch likes to say that word, city of York. We're going to see all the iconic landmarks and the cozy villages, the bustling city streets, the peaceful countryside views. We're going to experience all of the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. And we'd love for you to be a part of it. Here's what you got to do. Either go to the website, which I just went to because I wanted to check something, ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. That's ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. It'll reroute you to the Colette page for all the information on the trip, or we'll send it to you. All you got to do is text the word travel to 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Text the word travel, or again, go to ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You said people came to Lambeau to play with you then.
You know, Green Bay isn't, a huge vacation destination. People are coming here to play with me.
Now they come to Green Bay to play with Ted.
Love, stepping up, throwing in, Bill Watson, touchdown Packers.
Get everything you need for the Packers matchup against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all on the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house, only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com. That's OAWSpineCenter.com.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and has the same type of breast cancer who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kessler's is excited to announce that we've designed 3 new Hope pendants to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kessler's, will support ABCD when you purchase the symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with all 3 modern designs starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $598 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Aaron Rodgers' week rolls on. Again, he will speak to a select group of reporters at 1:30 this afternoon via Zoom for 10 minutes. Palms are sweaty. I'm nervous already.
No follow-ups.
And no follow-ups.
How mad are you going to be if you don't get a question in?
I'm not going to. It is. There's only 10 minutes. I'm hoping that I'll get one in.
Are they going to let you go first?
Yeah, they have to.
I feel like you deserve the honors here to go first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want any special treatment. They can pick them out of a hat. If I make the cut, I make the cut. Frankly, if I don't get a turn, at least then I could say, well, at least I didn't ruin it by asking a bad question or whatever. But that's a polluted mindset.
That's the attitude.
Yeah.
There's the attitude.
I am very hopeful that I will get a question, yes. But I don't think I necessarily deserve to go first. I don't deserve to be tier 1. Jesse, when you send something that is written by Bill Barnwell, what is the abbreviation? TLDR? Is that what we do now?
Too long didn't read.
The kids do?
Yep.
Too long didn't read? Secondly, you headline it off-season tears. And I wonder, well, here's a guy who cheers his friends, so this is right up his alley. But B, bowling reference there, in case you missed it.
Thank you.
Off-season tears? What?
Yeah, we're 8 weeks in. That's almost halfway through the NFL season. So our guy, Bill Barnwell, went back, and he's now grading all 32 NFL teams, how they fared in the off-season by what the product is for what they're putting on the field this season. It's actually probably the best way to measure the offseason instead of like the Bears did for a long time, measuring it in the offseason.
Hang a banner.
And then getting into the season, and it still sucks. So Bill Barnwell went ahead and ranked all the teams, and he put them into tiers over at ESPN.com. Would you like to know I'll tell you this. Let me start with this. The team, according to Bill Barnwell, with the NFL's best offseason. One team, tier 1. Who do you think it is?
Indianapolis.
That's correct.
I really went out on a limb on that one.
Well, no one said he went out on it's not bold tiers, it's just the tiers. All right. Okay. Now, the remaining tiers, here are the categories that he's placed the teams in.
Tiers of a clown, am I right?
Nice. Slightly above expectations, way above expectations, exactly average, slightly below expectations, way below expectations, or the NFL's worst offseason? In which tier do you think the Green Bay Packers belong before I unveil where Bill Barnwell put them?
I think he has them as slightly above expectations.
Slightly above expectations is your pick.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what I said. Yep.
Jason?
I think it's average or slightly below. They paid Aaron Banks a ton of money.
They're the 1 seed.
And they... Well, wait. Are we tiering the quality of their offseason moves or where they're at based on your expectations of what they did in the offseason? I don't even understand the parameters.
You're grading what the team did in the offseason and how it's translating to what they're doing this season.
Yeah.
It's a cumulative effort here. It's not like one.
It's a cumulative
We don't need to be splitting the atom here. It's just what'd you do in the offseason?
We don't have to split the atom.
Limbo.
What'd you do in the offseason and how's it looking so far this year? And comparing the two.
What'd you do this offseason? How's it planned out? Yes.
Exactly.
That's not what you said. I think it's average or below because the two guys they signed, meh. And does Micah Parsons count? Because that was in training camp. The season hadn't actually started because then that changes the parameters as well.
Micah Parsons counts as an offseason move.
Okay. Well, then it's probably way ahead of expectations. Or I don't know. Just tell me what he did.
Bill Barnwell lists the Green Bay Packers as a team that is slightly below expectations. Based on their
number
offseason
one
moves.
seed in the NFC.
I've heard that. He puts them in the same category as the Buffalo Bills. A lot of familiar teams you're going to recognize here. Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. Every team in the NFC North is in this category.
Vikings.
LA Chargers and Washington Commanders.
Do we need a Barnwell ban? BB.
I don't know.
Ban Barnwell?
I don't think this doesn't make any sense to me.
Thank you.
I don't understand it, but maybe I don't understand the question either.
Maybe he's writing this just for you then. If you're surprised to see the Packers here, writes Bill Barnwell, remember that the expectations for these moves should be very high. The moves he's citing, signing Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs, and of course the trade for Micah Parsons. Parsons has been every bit explosive and devastating as the Packers could have hoped, as the former Cowboy star is on pace for 15.5 sacks and 37 knockdowns, both of which would narrowly be career highs. It's not a stretch to suggest that Parsons was the difference between winning and losing in last week's game over the Cardinals, as the star pass rusher racked up 3 sacks, 11 quarterback pressures, and a whopping 8 quick pressures of Jacoby Brissett.
QP.
Brian Gutekunst, he writes so much. Brian Gutekunst's 2 key free agent signings, though, have been underwhelming.
Yes!
Banks has missed 2.5 games because of various injuries and has moved displaced Elton Jenkins to center, which hasn't been a positive for the veteran interior lineman. Hobbs, meanwhile, has allowed a 134.9 passer rating in coverage as the Packers have attempted to move a player who was at his best in the slot for the Raiders to the outside on a regular basis. And there's even more I'm not going to read. Does that make more sense to you guys then?
Right, but if this is a scale and you have a corner and a guard, and then you have one of the absolute premier pass rushers, and that is counting in the offseason, even though it occurred on August 28th when they'd been back at camp for a month and they were on the precipice of the opener. If you're going to include Parsons, I don't know how you can put a 4-1-1 team that is the number 1 seed as slightly below expectations. You want to put them below expectations if they don't get Micah Parsons? Have at it. I agree with you. But what are we doing here? And who anointed him as the arbiter of all things? These guys suck. They didn't do the right thing because they didn't do what I think they should have done. Come on. Now I'm irritated, Jesse.
That's all I got. Who do you think had the NFL's worst offseason?
Miami.
No, they are way down there, though. The Houston Texans, Bill Barnwell's pick for the worst offseason.
Can you read us every word he wrote about the Houston Texans offseason?
No, I will not. No, I will not. Are the Houston Texans the NFL team people care the least about?
Yeah, they're one of them.
Jacksonville. The Saints have fallen into that now.
Yeah. Tennessee.
Titans.
They have the coaching hire and a number 1 overall quarterback, but there is a litany of teams that nobody really gives a rip about except for barely in their market.
Carolina.
You named a few.
Yeah, that's another good one. They're coming up next on the Packers schedule. Also coming up next is Whoa Nelly, but not until Tausch has told us about Kohler Services.
Yeah, a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Well, this month only get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My old buddy Chris from Oostburg, one of their many skilled installers who will demo your existing bath or shower, remove it, and dispose of it before installing your brand new dream shower. So visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation. Always included. Again, that is KohlerServicesWI.com.
Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Outfit your crew. Your workforce is your brand. From uniforms to safety apparel, Alpha Custom Apparel helps you outfit your team with gear that looks sharp and works hard. We create durable, functional apparel that keeps your crew comfortable and confident on the job. No more digging through endless catalogs. We handle the details so you can focus on running your business. With fast turnaround, custom options, and friendly Midwest service, we make it easy to keep your team looking their best. Visit alphacustomapparel.com. Let's get to work.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack. It's mid-October. Basketball season is here. The football season's building profit. UFC going this weekend, soccer, and much more. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Go to FatJackSports.com. It's as little as $99 a week when you sign up long-term. Add all these sports. The plays are emailed to you. They're on a personal portal, and they will build you profit betting on the games. FatJackSports.com. Go to the results tab. You'll see all of our results. Get signed up today at FatJackSports.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launch pad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
The grill is hot, the crowd is loud, and the flavor? That's all Coop's Mustard. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For over 125 years, Coop's has been the MVP of game day eats with 14 bold flavors that make every brat, burger, and pretzel a championship bite. Because Coop's isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. The kind that turns tailgates into traditions and touchdowns into taste bud celebrations. This football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coop's. Coop's Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I'll be headed over to Lambeau Field soon, but I can't do that until I've played Whoa, Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, so I got something I for sure want to bring up. Just looking down here on our equipment in the studio before we do this, though, I forgot that I took a phone call at the end of the I Dream of Genie segment.
And that person's still on hold?
I put the person on hold, and I never asked who it was or what they wanted to talk about, but they've been on hold for 20 minutes now. Should we blindly put the person on the air to share whatever they wanted to share with us?
Do you consider yourself a good producer?
Some days.
Yes.
Jesse, what do you
Let's do
think?
phone line roulette.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see it. You don't screen anybody anyways.
I
so
sure
what
do. I screen people all the time back here. Anonymous caller who's been on hold for 20 minutes, please reveal yourself live on the air.
Wouldn't it be something if it was Barbara Eden?
That'd be something.
Hello! Now Jesse's hung up on them.
All that, they weren't even here. All right, they're done. Bye.
What are you doing, man?
That's terrible.
Whoa, Nelly!
That could have been really fun, and instead they didn't even say anything.
Are you sure there wasn't like a telemarketer? Did it say spam on the caller ID?
Didn't have any caller ID on it. Could have been anyone. All right, let's hear Joe Flacco talking about going to dinner by himself instead.
Go sit at a restaurant by myself and realize that, man, that's pretty enjoyable to do. I tell people all the time. I mean, I used to see guys sitting at a bar by themselves or, just sitting by themselves eating and grabbing a little meal. And I'm like, man, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, you almost want to go join him. And now I realize, like, that dude was in heaven.
Joe Flacco talking about going to dinner by himself in Cincinnati with his family not having moved to Cleveland or Cincinnati with him. They are still back out east from his time playing with the Jets. Said he misses them dearly. He would rather hear his kids tell them how their day was. But since he's not, he's going to dinner by himself at the senior citizen special time, 4:30. Tries to get in there right when the place opens. Eats by himself and then leaves. When is the last time either of you went to a sit-down restaurant and ate by yourself?
Oh, man, I don't recall. I'm not I would disagree. I think there's no doubt. What I loved about that whole scenario, as somebody asked it, because Joe Flacco's a 40-whatever-year-old dude.
40, yep.
He's got kids, he's got a wife, and it kind of shows you the difficulties. Everybody's thinking, oh, Flacco's a quarterback and he's making all this money and all this other stuff. Well, there's a lot of sacrifices, especially at that age, that go into it for him. And he was in Cleveland, and he decided because his kids were, and Jason, your kids are at that age, my kids are at that age where they've kind of established what they're doing, and you don't want to just keep pulling them out. So all of that I thought was very interesting. And then this, There is something to be said about having some solitude, especially when you're the quarterback for a football team and you have all people pulling at you. You have your family and your kids, and he said it. That's where he'd love to be, but that he's not. And then to just sit back and have nothing, but you could just eat and relax. You get it when you're at a certain age, and I thought it was a nice little insight into the entire psyche of what a 41, 42-year-old quarterback in the NFL is going through.
I don't want to sit alone. I've done that. I went to Chipotle without Ben Sims recently, and I sat by myself and did some work. I don't like being by myself when I eat.
You go to football games and sit under picnic tables by yourself. You obviously do, or you wouldn't do it.
No, first of all, that's not the same. Second of all, when I sit, because I'm kind of a big deal, I don't know if you know this, but in the greater Green Bay area, I get a lot of people coming up to me, coming up to say hi.
Wow.
Asking what I'm writing about.
Local celebrity. Huh?
Yeah. So there. But I don't like eating alone.
So there what?
Well, you make it sound like I'm sitting alone at the football games. That has not been the case. And anytime I've done that.
You told us you did.
Coaches.
What do you mean? You told us you sat over by yourself.
I'm not sitting
because you
I'm
wanted.
not sitting with Sydney and her friends because that would be awkward and weird.
That's not how you portrayed it. But okay.
Well, I'm sorry it doesn't fit your narrative. Bottom line is that I don't want to sit at a restaurant by myself. I don't care how old I am. I like talking to people. I like my steak
And that's why
lunch.
you haven't left your basement. That's why I haven't left your basement in 12 years. But yeah, I get it. No, you're right. Johnny People over there.
Nelly!
Okay.
What?
Talk to people every day. I go to Lambeau every day, basically.
I was going to do a follow-up.
That's work. That's work, though. That's
entails
different.
talking to people. Said I don't leave my basement.
He's talking about when he's not at work. He's got everybody pulling at him. And when he finally does get a beat, it ain't bad to have a beat by yourself. That's what he's saying. He's not saying he goes to the complex and he hides out in a corner somewhere.
I'm not. He's saying that he leaves work and he wants to eat by himself. That's what he said. I heard him say it.
He's saying he wanted to eat with his family, but because his family's not there, it ain't the worst thing in the world to go and get out and have a beat. That's what he's saying.
And if my family is gone, like they were last weekend, when
you
they
don't
went
do
to,
anything. You've said that you did. You clean up and you do all this other stuff.
If I'm
He's
going
an
out to
anti-flackite. He's an anti-flackite.
Whoa, Nelly!
Rapid fire. Going to a movie by yourself, yes or no?
No.
I say yes. That's like the best thing to do by yourself. Golf by yourself, Tausch.
Never. No. What's fun about that? Who are you going to say great shot to?
You don't have to say great shot. You concentrate on your own game. I've done it recently, and it was fantastic.
Let's go for a walk. If you're going to do that, going for a walk by yourself, great. Going to play golf by yourself, nah.
Whoa, Nelly!
I think golf by yourself is pretty outstanding. Some details are coming out, by the way, about this scandal in the NBA and the arrests that were made today. The Chauncey Billups portion of the story, because it's just point shaving for scary Terry Rozier. On the other side of the country, Chauncey Billups, some of the details of the rigged poker games that, by the way, Cavs assistant coach Damon Jones played for the Cavs as well. He was
for
also
the Bucks at some point.
I think he was a Buck at one point. Sounds familiar.
Check that.
He was also involved in this and arrested this morning. So he's those are two of the three that we know of. Some of the details: X-ray machines built into the tables to read face-down cards. Contact lenses or glasses that read pre-marked cards, and secret cameras in card trays.
Well, he makes Worm look like an amateur.
Well, I do think Rounders 2 needs we need a reboot for sure. That movie needed a reboot anyways. I think it's definitely should be in the works.
This is just an amazing story as it continues to develop. And by the way, these details shared from the press conference that the FBI did earlier this morning while we were on the air talking about it. So these are this isn't just someone making this up.
X-ray machines in the tables.
Uh-huh. Secret hidden cameras in the card trays. Glasses that show pre-marked, you're wearing special glasses that show you the markings on the card. This is amazing.
Like looking at when you get your hand stamped at a club or something, and you have to look through it with that black light.
Yeah, kinda.
Wow, I'm a big club guy because I like to go out and be with people.
That's why I like playing sheep's head. I don't think you can do that with sheep's head.
You don't think you could create an advantage by knowing what other people's hands were?
No, you know what other people's hands are by studying what they play.
No, it's all up here.
You do that in poker, too, but if you can know for sure.
You don't throw cards in poker.
You read people. Poker is more about reading people than it is about...
That's why they say poker face, not limbo face.
I am not going to take... You don't understand. Sheep's head, you have to follow suit. There's a club lead. You have to play a club. You don't have a club, that all of a sudden means you probably have hearts or you have some... It's nothing. Poker, you get 2 cards and you're looking at it and you get the flop. Oh, okay. You're reading how the other person bets. I don't think you fully comprehend cards. I think we need old boy from the other day to call in again. And by the way, you're cowering down under a craps table, bruh. What am I going to listen to you about playing sheep's head?
I feel like this has taken a bit of a turn in the last couple of questions.
I don't appreciate your tone.
Well, you leave somebody on hold for 40 minutes, and you bring them up, and it's a dead-aired phone?
That was unfortunate.
Okay.
That's one way of putting it.
I guess that's it for Whoa Nelly. If you felt
I'm not going to lie to
unsatisfied...
you. Very poor Whoa Nelly today. Can we agree on that?
You're the one who sent the Joe Flacco story because you wanted to talk about it.
The Flacco was good. That was the only thing that was any good. Dead phone lines and then gambling stuff that you're trying to tell me that poker and sheephead are the same thing, and it couldn't be further from the difference. Have you ever played sheephead, Jesse?
No.
Okay. Point proven. Asked and answered, Your Honor.
If you're as disappointed with your current bank as Tausch is with Whoa Nelly, make the switch to Associated Bank, where they've got the best customer service in the industry, and they won't leave you on hold for 20 minutes. They also have early pay, which gives you access to your direct deposit from your employer up to 2 days early, credit monitoring to make sure your credit is where it needs to be to make that big purchase, and fraud protection. When people are trying to steal your money, they've got your back to make sure it doesn't happen. Plus, Brewers, Badgers, and Packers checking, all at Associated Bank. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We'll wrap up the show next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field? Secondary. Keyshawn Nick.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be this scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
It's homecoming this weekend at UW Whitewater. Make plans to cheer on your Warhawks when they welcome in UW Platteville in a top 15 battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. The annual George Christ Memorial Bowl game features a pair of top 15 ranked teams. Get tickets now at uwwsports.com. Experience national championship level college football this Saturday when the Warhawks welcome in the Pioneers to Perkins Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. For tickets to this rivalry game, go to uwwsports.com. Warhawk football powered by tradition.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
What's up, Brochachos? Ready for an epic Stranger Things watch party?
Grab a tasty slice of Stranger Things Surfer Boy pizza. It's the tubular frozen pizza that tastes like it came straight from Hawkins to your oven.
Whoa, this pie? Totally righteous.
With 4 bodacious flavors, you're sure to find one that totally rocks. Plus, you can collect the wicked limited edition sticker that comes in each box.
Now that my taste buds are upside down, let's get this watch party started.
Stranger Things Surfer Boy Pizza. Grab your gang and fuel up for one last adventure.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine Specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, we got to go. We got something special planned for tomorrow. I'm very excited to make my contribution to it. Coming up after the program ends.
Do I know about this?
I don't know if you know about this. But if I tell you while we're on the air,
I don't think so.
Then you're gonna.
I like this.
Then everyone will know, and then it won't be a surprise. Matt LaFleur spoke this morning. Aaron Rodgers will speak this afternoon via Zoom at 1:30 Central Daylight Time, and then we'll also talk to Micah Parsons later today. It's going to be interesting. I'm eager to see how many questions we get in and how much time we have. Have you gotten a text from Brian Gutekunst the way Brett Favre got texts from Ted? I'm not going to do that one.
Okay. All right.
And I'm banking on. I don't want to go first because I want somebody else to ask that love relationship question, so I can ask the 2022 and what you learned from that you've applied to your time with the Jets and now the Steelers.
I hope he says I'm not living in the past, Jason.
Jay.
I'm not going to Mike McCarthy.
And congrats on your marriage.
Jay.
And Jesse would like to know more about your wife. That's it for us today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. Take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Big Ben in London. Then later, gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're